Melanie Menchinger has done it again. She's created a fabulous new background and border stamp set called Pretty Patterns 2. Although you can make fantastic backgrounds on plain white and plain colored cardstock, I want to show you how beautiful it looks when you stamp a background over a piece of pattern paper. Let me show you the tools and products you need to do this technique. First, you're going to need some of the stamps from the Pretty Patterns set. And I am using this diamond pattern along with this smaller diamond that gets stamped in between the lines, which I'll show you. And I'm using the single polka dot. You're also going to need some ink pads, and I'm using the Gina Designs Turquoise Sea, Ocean Mist, and our Black Onyx. For the pattern paper choice, I've picked one of the patterns from the new Spring Parade Stamp TV kit, and this pattern paper pack is also sold separately. It's called Spring Parade. So I'm using the turquoise striped pattern paper for this. So to begin, we're going to start with the lighter color. And I wasn't sure if the lighter color would show up nicely on here. And initially it's very bright, but then when it dries a nice subtle watermark look on this pattern paper. And I really like the way it looked, so we're going to use this one. So I'm going to ink up this stamp. And when you're stamping these backgrounds, it is a lot easier to stand up and get a bird's eye view, but I am sitting down, so my head might get in the way a little bit here and there. Now I'm going to stamp this first group of diamonds right up at the top, and I want to make sure that I have it so that it's even on both edges, and that looks pretty even to me on both edges, so I will stamp that there. Once you get the first one down, then it's very, very easy. You don't have to try to figure out where the center is anymore because the different patterns just line up right into each other. So you can see how pretty that watermark looks on that pattern paper. So we're going to do the next one. And this one, you just shift it a little bit to make sure that the diamonds are inside the other diamonds, but you leave a little bit of a border, and you'll see what I mean with that border. You don't want to go right up against the images, but you just want to leave that little bit of space in between so that you still have the crisscrosses in the natural color of the pattern paper coming through. With the clear stamps, this is so easy to work with, very easy to see. So we'll do the next one, same way. Stamp that down. And you can almost see the pattern paper just suck up the ink, and that's how you know you've gotten a good impression. And we're going to keep going all the way down. This is actually really fun to do also. You can create all kinds of different combinations with these different borders and single stamps that she has in this set. This is really a brilliant set, and it is a must-have basic for your collection. It's so pretty, and it's so soft and subtle. It's not like a background that would take away from the focal image. It just adds something. There we go. Oops. Well, I'm glad most of that ink was off of there. I got a little smear there. Okay. And the last one. Now this one, you're going to be stamping off of your pattern paper. And you just want to continue that same pattern. There we go. Okay, so now I have that beautiful, soft, subtle watermark look. Now I'm going to get this stamp, and this stamp is actually, you can probably see it if I tilt it a little bit, it's 4 little diamonds together, and then it has little spaces in between. Now those little spaces in between are lines, and those lines you're going to line up with the natural color of the pattern paper. So it'll be pretty easy to see where you want to stamp them. So I'm going to start up here at the top, and I'm going to ink this up. Get it nice and inky. And then I'm going to stamp it right there on top. And you can see how it just fills in over the bigger diamonds there. And I'm going to do the next one right here. Now I'm not going to do the entire piece. I'm just going to go across the top. And then I'm going to go off right there and off on this side as well. Okay, now I'm going to flip it around and I'm going to do the other side here. Same way. Start right in the center and just work my way across. And just kind of creating a little border across the top and the bottom. There we go. And now I'm going to jazz it up a little bit more using that black onyx. And that's where this little polka dot comes in. I'm going to add a little dot right in the center of each one of these little diamonds, just like that. And I'm only going to do that on one side. So now I have a little row of dots that's actually going to be toward the bottom of my project. Now let me show you my finished card project, and you can see how this pattern lightens up quite a bit once it's completely dry. Here you can see I've used that piece of background paper for this card, and you can see how soft and subtle that background is, but it definitely jazzes it up from being just a plain striped pattern. You can also see where the darker turquoise sea border is. You can see that little stitched line going through each one of those diamonds, where the rest is just plain lighter colored areas going through those diamonds there. And then at the bottom too, you can see the turquoise sea, that you can really see those stitched diamonds going across. And the addition of these little black dots is such a fun little stamp to have, because it takes the place of brads or eyelets or any kind of embellishment that might be a little bulky or that you're looking for a particular color. You can stamp them instead of having to dig through your embellishment box, and you can tie in other colors that are in your project. For example, these black dots tie in perfectly with this black button and the black baker's twine and the black and white gingham ribbon. And also the focal image, which I stamped in black and bordered with some of our black onyx cardstock. Now I know a lot of you are looking at that beautiful focal image and saying, what stamp is that? I have to have that. Well, good news. This particular stamp is called Only God, and it's a brand new stamp by Gina Designs. And I just love the message. Only God can turn a mess into a message, a test into a testimony, a trial into a triumph, a victim into a victory. Look at the size of this beautiful new stamp. Here it is right next to one of our ink pads. Isn't that huge? So you know you can make fast and easy cards for anyone who might need a little hug or might be going through a hard time. This is a perfect message for them. Now, the good news is this stamp can be yours free with any $25 purchase or more from now through May 20th, 2013. Now, after May 20th, 2013, it will go into our regular inventory, so you'll still be able to purchase it. But between now and May 20th, you can get it for free. So if the Pretty Patterns 2 stamp set is on your wish list and you have a couple more things that you're looking for, now's the time to grab it, because you will get the Only God stamp for free with any $25 or more purchase. The Pretty Patterns 2 stamp set will be one that you reach for time and time again. Try mixing vibrant ink colors over softer pattern paper for a bold look, or try a simple tone-on-tone blend for a softer, more subtle effect. Whatever combination you choose to use, with the Pretty Patterns 2 stamp set, the background possibilities are endless.